Hey, I'm going to continue on what I did in my last video and just add, did you know that you could just add a chatbot directly to your apps? So I had made this app, and if you missed that video, the last video I published shows exactly how I made this app for tracking bike loans and returns. And I used the AI infused Power Apps Copilot to do that. And check that out in the last video if you didn't see that. But what I want to do is I want to take this one step further. And since people are going to be borrowing bikes, I figured let me give them access in the app to where they might be able to go biking around Microsoft. So it could be really easy just to add a chatbot for that. So we use the new chatbot control. All right. So a couple of things have to happen. One, we have to have a chatbot. And so let's go make that real quick. I'm going to leave this open. Kind of scary on my part, but I'm going to leave it open. And I'm going to show you this site that I found called Trail Forks. And it's a site that kind of talks about all the biking trails and helps you find routes for biking. And I was like, wow, this is really nice. But what I'm going to use is the boosting feature in Power Virtual Agents so that the bot that I insert is super smart. All right. And all I need to do that to give my bot the smarts that it needs is to give them the link to this site. So I'm going to copy that site URL. And then I'm going to log into Power Virtual Agents. I haven't done anything yet. I'm going to click Create a Bot. And then I'm going to give this a name. I'm just going to call it Trails SME. It's going to be in English. So SME stands for Subject Matter Expert. And then I'm going to paste that website. So basically, you can see here, it says boost your conversations with generative actions. Let your bot create responses in real time with generative answers and information from a website that you choose. I don't even own this website, but I could use it to give my bot some smarts. So that's all I'm going to do. I don't even want to edit anything advanced. I'm just going to hit create. And this should set up my bot. Now, this is the bot that actually I'm going to put in my app so that while they're finishing a report on the bike that they borrowed or returned, they can go right there and find out where a close trail is. So I'm just going to skip these nice new features here, but you might want to go through the new features and see what's new. Look at all that stuff. Really exciting. All right. Now, it's already got the facts or the site boosting it, right? Okay, so basically, I didn't go in there. I didn't actually coordinate any topics, but you can see that if I go into here, you'll see that there's conversational boosting that has been enabled when we made it. And so let's just do a quick test. So I'm just going to do where are bike trails on the Microsoft campus in Redmond, Washington. Let's see what it finds. And look, the website was able to find the bike trails in Redmond, Washington. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put this in our Power App, and then we're going to be more specific about our asks so that we get them next to a building, next to a Microsoft building. Okay. So how do we get this connected into our app? Well, we need to do a couple of things. So one, we need to publish this bot. So I'm going to make sure I publish it because otherwise it doesn't really exist. I'm just going to make sure it's published. And then if we go into the setting of the app into bot details on the advanced tab, you have this information here. Now we're going to go back to Power Apps. We're going to go into settings, upcoming features, and you're going to scroll all the way down. I already did this, but you're going to scroll almost all the way down and turn on the chatbot component. Okay? Turn on the chatbot component. Really important. You won't see it unless you've done this. All right. Now, I could turn on the Copilot component, but I'm going to talk to you about that another day. So let's just talk about the Chatbot component. All right. Zoom it up to, whatever makes you feel comfortable. We want to be in the app with that setting on. And now we're going to select from our screens, you want to select the body container. So this is the body container. You have several containers here. Pick the one that you'd like it to go next to, if your app is different than this one. This is the one we did in the last video that Power Apps completely built this for us. So all I have to do is select the body container. Then I'm going to go into the plus sign and do a search for the Chatbot component. And there it is. I click it and now it's going to show me chatbots. So here's a big important thing. Excuse me. Big important thing is that because I've made other bots in this environment, it will automatically show me all the bots in the environment. But you will need to add the first bot for every environment, like the first time you build in that environment. So you'll see that there's two ways to do this. The first way is the easier way, but it does require that you've come in there before and added a bot. The second way will be foolproof. It'll always work. So right here, it shows me my two bots, but I want the one that's called Trail SME. And what it does is it goes and fills out the properties for me. So you can see there's the schema name, right? And if we go to advanced here, you'll actually see that it even takes in the environment ID. And here's what I'm saying. If you do not see that panel pop out with chatbots that you can just pick from, then go to the advanced tab and fill in these two things, the environment ID and the schema name. And as I said before, those are on the bot details in the settings, bot details on the advanced tab. You can just click these copy icons to copy the environment ID and the schema name. I find that's all that you need. And then the bot will just provide its story here. The only thing I'm going to do is in the properties, I'm going to have the stretch the container to fit that right side. Okay, so you can see that it now fits that whole area right there. Now it's going to call itself Chatbot in your UI unless you put a header label in there. So you can actually call it Find a Trail or whatever you want to call the bot, and that's what will show up here. It's up to you. All right. Just remember, after you get it set on the screen, I like to just save and publish, just so that as we test, everything is gonna work as expected. And if it doesn't lose our setup. Like my UI is the most important thing for me. Is like, is it looking in the right place, right? And you know this from kind of regular life. You can always reorganize these items on the form. And I didn't show you that in the last video, but you know that, so I didn't worry about that. So, all right, so over here, I'm going to save and publish one more time because I did change the order of those fields. Sometimes I can get kind of anal as to what stuff looks like. All right, so then let's give a little test, right? Are there any bike trails in Redmond? I think this is what we did in the test back at Power Virtual Agents. And so here we're getting that same kind of answer. Notice that it even gives us a regional result. So if we link here, I had tested this before. These are the biking trails in Redmond. So it'll give you a list to those. And it may give you some specifics. Let's try something on the Microsoft campus. Are there bike trails on the Microsoft campus in Redmond, Washington? Let's try that. I don't know what the answer is. I'm just kind of counting on this site, but that's why you need to you need to test your bot after you add it and just make sure it's giving back what you want. And if it isn't, you can create custom conversations, of course. You can do those kind of things as well, but it usually just works, and this just works. In my mind, I don't think I could get any better than this. And so with just a few clicks, right? First, we made a bot, and then with just a few clicks more, we added the bot to our app. So now we not only have a app for tracking bike loans and returns, but the people who are using the apps can go ahead and leverage it to find some bike trails. I don't know about you, but I'm just amazed at what the Copilot and all of this AI infusion is doing for our Power Platform. And I'll just keep sharing things with you, and maybe I'll build upon this bike app as we go along. But you don't have to know any formulas, and you're just able to do these really cool things. So I'm going to see you soon. Happy power apping. Make sure you check out the last video that I published if you didn't see us build this bike loan and return apps in just minutes. And there's a Dataverse table that was built for us too. All right, happy power apping.